What's going on, guys? Today is Wednesday, October the 31st. Today is Halloween. Certainly awesome to see some of the kids dressed up today, and I know that you guys have got big plans tonight. Listen, if you've got a younger brother or sister, spend some time with them tonight. Walk around with them. Invest in them. I've always said, how do you spell love? T-I-M-E. Today, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite stories. It's about Spiffy the horse. I was told this story years ago, and the setting of the story is a man was up early on a Saturday morning, and he was going out into the country. He was going to cut him some firewood. Now, I don't know if you've ever cut firewood in your life, but I promise you, cutting firewood is not an easy task, and it is grueling to say the least. As this guy was making his way to cut this firewood, to bring it back to his house, to heat his home for the winter, it had started to snow that night, and the road conditions were bad, and he ran off the road, and he stuck his truck right in the ditch. He tried and tried and tried to get his car out of the ditch. He tried to put logs underneath his wheels. He tried all of the tricks, but to no avail. He was stuck in the ditch. So he decides to walk to the nearest house. And when he gets to the nearest house, he tells the guy, "Sir, I'm sorry to bother you." He said, "But I've had an accident. I ran off the road and my truck is stuck in the ditch. Can you help me?" And the guy looks at him and he says, "Man, I tell you what." He says, "I'll be glad to help you today. I've got a horse, and my horse is awesome. My horse's name is Spiffy. And if you give me just a minute, I'll go get everything we need, get Spiffy, and we'll meet you down at your truck, and we'll pull that thing right out of the ditch, no problem." So the guy turned around, walked back down the driveway, and a few minutes later, here comes the old farmer and the horse. The guy hooks the horse up to the truck. And when he hooks the horse up to the truck, he claps his hands and he says, "Pull, Spiffy, pull." Spiffy pulls a couple times and not able to pull the truck out of the ditch. So the guy goes and he talks to Spiffy and he pets the horse and he walks around to the other side and he says, "Pull, Big Jake, pull." And the guy looks at him and he says, doesn't really understand what's going on. He says, "Sir, I don't understand what you're doing." Well, the third time he walked up to Spiffy, and this time he said, "Spiffy, Big Jake, pull." And the minute he said pull, Spiffy pulled that truck right out of the ditch. And the guy looked at him and he said, "Man, I have no clue what just happened. Why did you do that? Why did you call two horses names when you've only got one horse? But when you called this two horses names, Spiffy pulled my truck right out of the ditch. What's the deal?" And he said, "Well, I will be honest with you." He said, "My horse Spiffy is blind. And if he thought he had to pull that truck out of the ditch by himself without any help, we would have been here all afternoon. But when he knew that he had some help, he pulled that truck right out of the ditch, no problem, as if it wasn't even stuck." So the moral to that story is, when you help someone, you empower them. So I hope that today you will find a way. We get so busy in everything that we do with our jobs and our families, we often overlook and miss opportunities to help other people. Do something today to help someone. I don't care what it is. If it's maybe filling in on their duty for 10 minutes, if it's cutting your neighbor's yard, if it's helping your mom or dad at work, helping one of your teachers, find something today to make a difference and help somebody. Because when you do, pull, Spiffy, pull, you empower people. Hope that you have an awesome Wednesday. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time.